If you don't have a licensed professional doing laser hair removal, you can have several complications. The first would potentially be a burn. If the settings aren't appropriate, you could have hypopigmentation from a burn, or you could even get a severe burn from the laser. Here at Plaza Aesthetics and Wellness, I am always in charge of the laser settings. So before the esthetician goes into the room, we're often discussing the settings to make sure that is it appropriate to stay on the current settings? Do we want to increase the settings? Is this safe for the patient? And this would minimize any complications. Other things that could happen, let's say the laser was turned down too much. So maybe you went to a med spa and they didn't quite, have someone who was trained well, and the settings were too low. You could get a paradoxical hair growth to where the hair actually grows in more quickly and is much more coarse than before. We have never seen that in any of our patients. We always make sure that we, administer the proper amount of energy in the laser so the patient gets an appropriate treatment and they don't have contraindications. We do want to make sure that, we're always asking, is a patient on a new medication? Is there something in their medication that could make them photosensitive? We're asking the patient, have they had sun exposure? Have they had a recent, whether it be spray tan or self-tanner? Often, we'll have patients come in, even if they've had several sessions. They, were a bridesmaid in a wedding. They didn't even think about, that their spray tan would affect their next session. If for some reason they have, recent sun exposure, they have something on their skin and we're unable to do the treatment, we would just push the treatment out for about a week or two, depending on the pigmentation, or if it's a spray tan, if it was able to be removed within the next week. So for laser hair removal, it's state dependent. So, every state kind of regulates who is able to perform laser hair removal and kind of the training. Because I am a physician, all of the employees who work for me are able to essentially function under my license with my oversight. Technically, I could hire you, the person watching this video, to operate a laser, but we always make sure that all of our staff are certified. They all go through an extensive training period with the manufacturer, as well as myself and my nurse here on site before they're administering treatments on patients. It's often hundreds of hours before they're administering treatments on patients. There are several laser hair institutions in this area where they hire someone who has maybe taken a weekend course. So this could be, again, you watching this video, you fly off to Arizona, you take a weekend course, you come back to Kansas City and you're hired as a laser hair technician. We only hire nurses and licensed estheticians, and our licensed estheticians all have their license in either Kansas, Missouri, or both. And then they also have their full year of clinical experience before they're operating the laser.